What does this mean for the Palestinians now?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, that was their. Um, I mean, it was already very bleak for the Palestinians. Let's be honest. They at least had some sort of moral support, and some, I guess, to some extent, some funding got to them through. Um, yeah, it's they. If Iran was able to get funds to to Hamas, for example, before. I guess they still could. So they still do have that support. It's more kind of a loss of, I think a lot of there was some hope that, again, as you saw the strength of Hezbollah and Syria, there were people on their side, and there's some hope that Israel could be defeated in the not too distant future. And I imagine that hope is now gone. And that's got to affect their morale, if nothing else.
Hmm. Do you think that would push Hamas into some type of ceasefire talks or something at this point?
Possibly, yeah. I think that's possible. It just may be that we've also talked about there's a limit to what any people can withstand. I mean, it's just like the what Gaza has been through is just beyond a nightmare. And at some point, they may say we just can't do this any longer.
If they do that, say we can't do this any
Yeah.
longer, and the ceasefire stops, and Gaza's destroyed, slowly they start to rebuild. Does that mean that Iran is just going to take a back seat now? Or I mean, this whole everything started because of October 7th.
Right.
With Hezbollah, with Iran, and it looked like Israel was in real trouble. But then once if things end in Gaza, where the people in Gaza say, we can't take this anymore, and they've been dealt a severe blow to the morale because of what's happened in Syria, and Hezbollah is no longer in the fight. They just say they throw in the towel. They throw in the
Uh,
towel. Does that mean that the rest of the axis of resistance throws in the towel too? Says, well, we're fighting for the Palestinians, but the Palestinians aren't fighting anymore. Then we have to stop.
yeah. Well, that's a question. Not necessarily. I think probably the Houthis will continue to do what they're doing, and there's um, really no reason why they shouldn't. That Iran has supported them, and there's no reason why Iran can't continue to support them. And there are the militias in Iraq that are aligned with Iran, and I don't see why they would lay down their arms. Of course, I'm sure they're discouraged by what happened, but they still have the Americans that they want to drive out of Iraq, for example, and I think that part of the access, so the access has been greatly reduced. It it hasn't disappeared. There's it will remain within Iraq and it will remain in Yemen.